Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to my photo editing live stream where you can submit your images and I edit them here live for you. I'm using Photolab 4 Elite, but really it's a lot of the features are common with any photo editor. And hopefully we'll get some good ones today. And I also put my images out there for you guys to edit. It's always fun to see what you guys do with my photo. And I always try to give you something interesting and recent, preferably, that I took that, I had a little trouble with. I had something in mind and it just didn't pan out, but you guys really seem to find the perfect edit for my shots a lot of times. So it's always fun to see what you guys are doing. And let me just check in, see who's here. I see Scott is here, Lasse is here, John Burleson. Oh, thank you, John, for your recent support. I really appreciate that. And Plato's here. Roberto, how you doing? Yeah, Roberto made a comment about he really liked my old images that I've been posting on Instagram lately from my Nikon setup. And I can tell you in those days, in 2015, I did a lot of editing. I mean, those were not straight out of camera. And a lot of the pictures I post on Instagram now from my Olympus camera, for the most part, are very straight out of camera. There might be some minor editing, but I try to post straight out of camera JPEGs when I use my Olympus. So they don't quite have that pop sometimes. It's more about, starting with getting it right in camera, right? And doing the best we can. So Garrett's here, hello. And Randy, good to see you. And Scott says something weird about his picture. I guess you just want to talk about it. Okay, talk about it when it comes up. Um, and oh, getting ready for Marauder. Yeah, I got I ordered new tires for my car last week, and they still haven't come in. I just went with the standard touring Michelin premises. I didn't get anything fancy, but it was the best tire they had supposedly, and it gets good reviews. But maybe today they'll come in and I can go get my new tires installed. I popped my rim, uh, or I hit a pothole and cracked my rim, so I had to order a new rim, and then I just decided to replace all 4 tires. But anyhow, let's go ahead and get to the images. John Follows is here. Lauren, good morning. Oh, hey, Rick, how are you? I'm going to take your advice to heart about my images or editing. One of the things he pointed out to me was that, um, I click these automatic settings to kind of get a baseline, and I take away sometimes the intent of the photographer. Maybe they wanted it to be kind of a moody, dark scene or a high key image or very soft with very little detail. There's all kinds of creative ways to approach an image. And, just professionally speaking, out of my work, I have to represent the scene as accurately as possible. So it's just a force of habit sometimes to do those things. And I'm going to try to see what the intent of the photographer was or the intent of the image before I go too heavy in the editing. But I do like to bring up the shadows and pull the highlights to see if there's anything there that might be of interest in the photo that I can use to make a more interesting story or composition. So I will apply some automatic settings just to pull those out, but I can dial them back down if I see something that might be more appropriate or more the intent of your original photo. But okay, so that said, let me go find. What's that video of me smoking weed? That's that was my Micro Four Thirds is not dead video from 3 years ago. Remember when Tony Northrup said something about Micro Four Thirds is dead, and here we are 3 or 4 years later, and they're still cranking cameras out, and it's still my primary camera system. I'd say 99%, and it hasn't failed me. You know, it's been an awesome experience for me to work with Micro Four Thirds cameras, and I don't see changing to anything like James Pops's. You know, he recently changed to Sony, uh, primarily for the autofocus, because all of the other considerations, you know, higher megapixels, and because he wanted to print larger, things like that, I think are easily overcome with Micro Four Thirds because of the handheld high res shot modes you can use for still life. But I wish him the best. You know, the gear doesn't really matter. It's all about your photography, and I learned a lot from James' channel. Um, so I always appreciate his work and what he does for the photography community. Um, but okay, this is not a photo chat live stream. This is a photo editing live stream, right? Tony's the one who smokes a lot. Okay. Uh, oh yeah, fix the Mona Lisa. You're funny, Rick. I probably would. I don't know. You know, that would be an interesting exercise is to take famous works of art or other photography and edit them and see what I would do with them without knowing that they were famous ahead of time. Uh, but okay, you know, actually on my Alexa devices, my my rolling screensaver is art. You know, specifically paintings, and I like to just look at the paintings and see how because they have to paint in every bit of light, shadow, and color. So I look at those on a regular basis to just analyze how the artist or painter painted the scene with the lights, shadows, and colors that they chose, the composition. I mean, they choose everything, right? And you know, I found it's helped me to think about my photography as well, even if it's at a subconscious level. You know, sometimes that it does help me with my composition and think about lighting more. You know, why is this scene pleasing now? Why is, you know, where is the light coming from that might be making it pleasing, or is it the composition, or is it the colors? You know, I think about all these things before I take a photo, and I have a photo walk I need to edit and put up. I went out yesterday to Green Springs Garden and did some flower photography with that new lens that I'm reviewing. So I need to take the lens out one more time and do some more normal photography, not just flower photography. But in any case, let me get to the right screen. Um, oh, the chat. Yeah, I didn't pull it up. Let me go to the. Let me pull this down. Let's get the. Well, hold on. Let me get my Windows set up right so we can get started. Lauren has asked me if I'm cropping my paintings. That's funny. Okay, so there's the chat window. I'll just scroll up and just scroll down so that for the record, so we can see what everybody was saying. And I can double check. And Lauren, I did get your last couple of emails and I read them, but I just haven't had a chance to respond. Um, oh, Druid, you have some tigers up for edit. I'll double check to see if anything came in because I don't have a lot of photos today. Let's see. Yeah, an EM1 with more megapixels. I just got a text from Ben, uh, Ben Chappelle, who does astrophotography, about the new WOW camera from Olympus. It's going to have astrophotography tracking built in. I guess that's similar to what Pentax is already doing. I haven't read the article yet on 43 Rumors, but he just texted me just before I started the stream. Okay, Scott, why don't you go ahead and reboot, and we'll be here when you get back. Let me why is we'll start here. Okay. So we have a lake here, it looks like, with some ducks. And we shot with the EOS 400D. I don't even know what that is. I guess, wow, shot in 2008. ISO 200, f10, 1/200th of a second. So I see some good detail here in the clouds, and there's a nice reflection back here. But this scene down here with the ducks is a little bit busy. So I think I'm going to focus on right in here. And this tree on the right and left almost framed the scene. I may try to include that. I'm just going to click an auto setting. I did tone my auto setting back a little bit to just be basically the optical corrections. But that feels about right. And now I can see there's a couple of people here. I like this scene right here. Initially I was thinking right in here, maybe a 16:9 crop, but now that I see these people here, I like this scene right here. It's very calm. And maybe include the duck. So this is a little more interesting. So a little bit of straightening maybe. Just a tad. And maybe a vertical crop. And we'll do a 5:4. And we'll just use a simple rule of thirds composition there. Yeah, I like this right here. And let's pull in a little bit more detail. Well, no, we've already sharpened a little bit. Let me see how it handled this. We can probably dial this back a little. Because the D prime is just giving it a little more sharpness, a little bit, than I'm seeing in the preview here. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's an entry-level Canon. Okay. Okay, so this is good. Now, do I need to get in tighter? So I like the duck. Just sort of, I mean, it's kind of in an odd place, but I like the duck. All right, let me fix the white balance. I want to make it a little warmer, even though it's winter. Just a little bit warmer here. A little more tilt. Okay. And let's bring a little bit of the sky in. So I'm just going to brush in a little bit of flow. Just a little more detail in the clouds. Like so. And maybe some more color. That's too much. Okay. Just add a little bit more in the blues. Okay. Push the highlights a little. Add a little more contrast. I don't want the clouds to look like storm clouds. Okay. There. Now let's work on the trees a little bit. Give a little bit more light in here. Hopefully I don't cause too much glow. But since this is the most interesting part of the image, I want this to be sort of the brightest part. So just add a little bit in here. Okay, I'll get rid of this glow. Let me erase some of this. Okay. I'm gonna add some whoops. Pull off a little bit here. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Just maybe a tiny bit of warmth. Like so. All right. I think I will, well, let me do a little bit more here. That's a bit strong. Pull the flow back. Okay, good. Bit here. Need a different brush. just want a little more light right here. A little bit softer. Good. Now if I can just, it's a little bit flat, a little more vibrance there. Tiny bit more magenta maybe. And gosh, it still looks crooked. There. All right, I'm going to call it there. So let's do a before and after. There's the before and there's the after. And if we do a side by side, so yeah, basically, you know, you have a wide landscape here on the left and it's dark. You know, the most interesting things are too dark. This is a little bit too warm still. Let me back off the white balance a little bit. Maybe 6,000. Yeah, right in there. That's better. Okay. So that's my final edit there. I think that looks pretty good. It's much more uh, focused, I guess is the way to put it. And if we just look at it full screen, now the light's a little heavy here, but I just wanted to lead the eye up to these people sitting here. I like the duck for whatever reason. It's a nice little accent, I think, to the image overall. It just adds a little bit of flair. And then, of course, just adding a little depth here in the trees in the background because they were kind of flat. So I just kind of brushed in a little bit here and a little bit in here. And that looks pretty good. Maybe a little, it's a little soft here. This is probably the lens, but that's okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. Essay. Hopefully you like that. So you did pretty much the same thing, just less light painting. Yeah, the light painting just added a little more depth, particularly in the background, and then also to help lead the eye. That was my intent. All right, let me see who this was. This was Nemtheed. Oh, Jeff Heron. Okay. And let's see, we have a swing on a tree. EM1 Mark III, 40 to 150 Pro, ISO 400 f5.6. Yeah, this decent, good settings. Again, I think I need to crop out and just go right in here on the right side. Because if this swing wasn't here, then I'd make it more about the tree and use this grass line to lead your eye to it. But I like how the light's hitting it here. So what I want to do is cool off sort of the shaded areas and warm up in here and give it more of a golden hour look and then focus on this. So let me see what we can do here. Let me just come in. And give a little bit more. don't know if I need the base of the tree. I never like these corners, but this is not really a landscape. It's a little bit bottom. That's feeling about right. Okay, I'm not going to do any. Let me see what this looks like. Let's just add some optical corrections. Oh, I need to crop it back. No, I like the tighter crop right there. And maybe a little vignette first. Let's pull out some of the greens. Ooh, that's too much right there. Okay. Uh, Now I'm going to darken this. Let me try it with just some contrast. All right, I need to. Computer's dragging just a bit. Okay. I know this looks dark, but I'm going to fix it. Okay, almost there. Now, let me fix this area here. So what I'm trying to do is frame the swing with the light. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. A little bit off in here. Let me just cool off this part here a little bit. All right, one more brush. I just want to darken a little bit in here. A little bit here. Okay. Oh, I gotta fix that. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna call it there. So let's do before and after. And I think that looks pretty good. Um, So the before, is just a little bit flat, but there is good light kind of coming in different places. So I just tried to accentuate where I saw the light kind of hitting already. And then just try to lead the eye here to the swing by surrounding it in warm light. Um, so yeah, I think that came out pretty nice. Let me let that render. Gosh, man, I don't know why the computer's dragging today. Must be something running in the background other than the streaming. Okay, let me just check my setting here. Yeah, I'm on turbo. I don't know. Not using much. I don't know why it's dragging today. All right. So there's the before and there's the after. So yeah, and warmed it up. Okay, very good. I think that looks pretty good. Now, let's see. Here's one from John. Lauren, you're killing me today. It's a little soft. Let's see if we can sharpen that just a little bit with my preset. It didn't help much. Uh, okay, so compositionally, the feet are cut off. So I'm gonna have to balance this a little bit. It's a little bit too many distractions on the top there. Let's try that. And let's fix the white balance. It's a little bit too warm because apparently it's artificial lighting. Oh, let me look at the exit. Apparently this is a JPEG. EPL1 with the kit lens. Wow. Taken in 2013. Okay, oldie but a goodie. Um, all right, let me continue to work on the white balance. All right, let's see if we can improve the sharpness a little. You can see it's let's do it with a masking. I don't think I'm going to be able to sharpen this. So what we'll do is we will go with a that looks like crap. Give a slight vignette. Go with a soft focus maybe. Ugh, I don't know if that's working. I'll leave it. Let's make this stand out a little more. struggling a little bit with this image. um, let me look where we were. Yeah, maybe black and white, Michael. I mean, I hate to lose the color of the outfits, though. Ugh. Uh, you know, black and white is these colors are very. Yeah, maybe a sepia. All right, let's go with this. Um, where's my framing? Filter frame, grain. No, not a light leak. Well, let me see what this looks like. It really needs some texture. One of these. It's not this one. I haven't used this in a while. What I'm looking for is the where is it? No, not grain. Oh, here it is. All right. Old paper. And then we'll take this grain off. Maybe creased? No. Let's just turn that off. All right, let's work with the light. Let's reduce the dynamic range a bit to give it more of a film feel to it. I guess I could apply a film filter to it. And then let's just pull this a little bit darker. Did I leave a light leak in here? Yeah, I did. That's off, that's off. Where's that light coming from? Maybe, no, this was best. Just rotate it. All right. I'm gonna call it there. I'm not crazy about this little bit of softness down here, but I guess it's okay. Uh, let's do a before and after. So there's the before and after. The main problem I had with this compositionally was it's just too tall. The people are on the bottom 2/3, and they really need to be more in the frame. And then because the image is a little soft, and it's a JPEG, I wasn't really able to bring out the details. So, and the colors just, somehow I couldn't make the colors pop or separate either. So I just went with black and white. And that's my final image. And I think that looks pretty good, just kind of going with an old sepia, old photo style look to it. And composition, I'm pretty happy with that. Much better than it was anyway. Because you don't have this distracting, you know, wall up here, which has nothing to do with the scene, I don't think. I should brush out that too, actually. I don't like these, I don't think that'll repair too well, but well, anyway, you get the idea. Um, I would brush out these handlebars in the background as well. And, you know, with little fine tuning on the repair, I think that would work. That would work better. Okay, let's go to the next one here. One from Lauren, and wow, nice scene. It just needs a little bit of let's do an optical correction. Didn't need anything there because it's a JPEG. Uh, and I need to go to art school. Let's see. I'm gonna try. This might really jack it up, but let me see what happens with this. Yeah, it kind of cut them off. Cut off their feet. So let's not do that. And I don't think we need the whole window or that plant on the left. All right, we're almost there. So let me do 5x4. Take a little bit of that window off. Oops, I got that plant on the left side. Okay. And just cool it off a tiny bit. And desaturate a little bit. How about if we do it this way? Okay, and maybe some minor contrast. I just want to see a little more texture in the walls. All right, I got to do it with a brush. I like the little cracks and texture that's in the wall here. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Maybe a little more contrast. Down here in the shadows. Yeah. Now the texture in the wall's coming out. Okay. And let me see how we're doing. I like the very earthy tones here too. Did I lose some of the pot? Let me go back to the crop. Can I get, yeah, I want to get some of that pot back in. All right. I didn't like the bottom of the pot being cut off. And then for color, let me just click this auto white balance and see where that takes me. I don't want to lose, yikes. How about here? How about here? Yeah. Then maybe, nah, it doesn't need any vignette. Okay, I think that's it. Just the color's still just a tiny bit off. I mean, for a color image, it's almost already sepia, right? It just needs some more reds or something. Let me touch the reds a little bit. Okay, let's do a before and after. So there's the before and after. The white balance is, I like the white balance on the original better. Let me fix that. What if I turn this off? Is it still? Oh, it's because I desaturated so much. Yeah, I like that. I like that white balance better than the original. I need to turn it down just a tad. Okay, now I'm done. So there's the before and after. Again, I just wanted to focus more on the people in the scene. The window itself, this is not an architectural photo, so I didn't see a need to keep that window in the frame. Even though it does give some scale to where they're sitting, I still think the story is really in the two people sitting there having coffee. And to me, that's a little better image. It needs to be tilted slightly. It's always something, because this line should be straight. Let me fix that, and then I'll be done. I'm gonna lose the pot though. I would need to do a content aware fill to fill that in Photoshop or something. Let me see if I can do it. All right, so there's the before and after. Not much, you know, as with most of Lauren's images, not much needs to be done. But I just wanted to add a little more contrast under their legs here and bring the texture out in the wall. I really like this texture. And I think that works. This works for me right here. Yeah, I need to get out in the street. I was thinking about doing that today, actually, because I did flower photography yesterday. Maybe I'll go out in the street today and do some. Maybe while my tires are getting changed, I can walk around that area. It's very industrial, where the tires are being changed. So maybe I'll do that. We'll see if the tires come in today. If they don't come in today, I'll just maybe go downtown. Okay. Let's see. Image writer. Did I do, did I miss one? Yeah, no, we're good. I don't know about a horizontal crop. Let me entertain this idea, right? Uh, because the idea being, since I don't care about the window, why not just go horizontal, right? I feel like that would be just a bit too tight. I personally I like the vertical better. Just because you get a little more scale. Not as much scale as Lauren had, with the entire window, but I feel like that's okay. And if I did that, I'd go black and white like this, right? That would be all right. But with all of this color, I think the color is really the story here, um, in the scene for me. And just doing a vertical just captures more of all those warm tones. So to me, this is a more stunning image, uh, because of the color, not so much because of the people sitting there. And that's why I'd go vertical, so you capture more of the color rather than going, wide. Just my opinion. Okay, let's do yeah, see Lauren agrees the color was really the thing, right? In that picture. Um so he captured a lot of color, but it was a little bit too much for me. I think I still got enough color. All right. But I don't know. Lauren, share some of your thoughts, maybe Rick, or whatever you guys think. Yeah, the expressions on their faces were okay, but I could only see one. I couldn't see it on the other person. I think it'd been more interesting if you see both their faces and the interaction between the two. But one person by themselves, not so much. Okay, so this image here is about really the water drops, right? So let's just crop in. What do we use here? This is really sharp. EM1 Mark II with a 40 to 150 kit lens. Oh yeah, the Plastic Fantastic, man. This lens is awesome. It always amazes me how much detail I can pull out of this lens. So let me just apply simple optical correction, and let's let's push the deep prime in. Unless this is a JPEG, it's a JPEG, so it's okay. Let's crank this sharpening up a lot. And oh, hey Ben, how are you? I got your text. I was talking about it earlier about the astro tracking. So, all right, now let's work with the micro contrast. See if I can bring these water droplets out even more. Ooh, that's a bit much. Now the bokeh would have been nice if it were behind these water, because bokeh is showing some water droplets too, right? These speculars, but they're not up here, unfortunately. So I'm gonna crop in to here. Maybe just do a simple square crop. Let's tilt it. like so. Almost a little bit higher. And a little more contrast here. And then let's cool this off a little bit. Or maybe not that much. I don't see any ladybug. If there's a ladybug in there, it's it's not obvious. A little more magenta. Oh, I don't have magenta here, so what if I push the reds? There's almost no red in there. So what I need to do is probably just shift the greens a little bit. Okay. I think I need to be tighter. All right. All right, I'm going to call it there. A little bit of glow, maybe too much. Yeah, all right. All right, so there's the before and after, right? There's separate elements I like about this, but they're not coming together in the right order. I would have liked these speculars to be higher up, and um, obviously much tighter crop to get into the water droplets like I did here. But here's the final image. Let it render out to get rid of some of the JPEG artifacts, but and then a slight shift on the color. So that because the wood stick, the stem itself had like this green tint to it from all the green everywhere. So I wanted to try to get rid of that so it stands out a little more. And but I like the glow behind the branch too. I think the glow helps. So that's my final edit there. Okay. Um, and yes, I would definitely would have zoomed in a lot more and try to get some speculars in the background maybe. But you're at 150 millimeters already. Uh, so probably some extension tubes so you can get in closer. All right, let's see. Scott, I think, said he did not want to edit this. He just wanted to talk about it. Uh, so what do we use? EM1 Mark II, 75 to 300. Zoomed in all the way to 300 at f9, ISO 200. So really good settings. But you can see some you can see this is soft, right? Let me apply an optical correction and see if we can fix. That helps. If you look in this window here, I am able to pull out a little bit more detail. And let me turn the deep prime on, and that'll clean it up even more. And then I would just add some color. Maybe push the oranges a bit more. And the blues. So the grass seems to be multiple exposed. Yeah, that uh, I see what you mean. Like this is a double blade. This is all right. My guess would be that this is that could be a little, well, it would happen to the bird too, but that's just the way this lens renders uh, the bokeh. And your shutter speed, you're at 1/500th. I mean, I get this time to time, this kind of rendering, and but it's just the way some lenses render, I believe. I don't think there's much you can do. It feels it. I know what you mean. The bokeh is a little bit busy, right? So I I'm not a lens expert to be able to articulate what's going on here, but I do see this time to time where the lens, the way the bokeh is rendered, it's a little bit busier than other lenses. And that has to do a little bit with the way the blades are on the aperture, because you're stopped down to f9. Sometimes the aperture has, is not a complete nicely round circle. Sometimes, because you've seen that bokeh that's kind of like a pentagon shape and things like that. This is sort of a slight, it's kind of along those lines where the way the aperture blades are closed, it doesn't quite create a nice smooth bokeh in the background. So probably it needs more blades or rounded blades somehow to make that bokeh a little bit smoother. So that would be one aspect of the lens design, is how they design the aperture blades to close. And if they use more aperture blades, the smoother the bokeh is. So sometimes you see 9 blades, right? Versus 7 blades or 6 blades or 5 blades, like a pentagon shape. So the more blades you use in your aperture, the smoother the bokeh will be in the background. And then, of course, there's the lens design itself, right? They have these different kinds of lenses to make corrections along the way. And with zoom lenses, they'll have like 15 different pieces of glass inside the lens. And when you're zoomed all the way out, I think you're pushing all of the lenses to their limits, right? That are inside the one lens, but all of the individual pieces of glass. So there's some optical corrections there that aren't perfect, right? Particularly in a low end lens like this. This is basically a kit super zoom, right? So there's two things, and it's about the lens design that's creating the character of this lens. Some people like to call it character, but that's my guess. My initial guess would be, when I saw these double blades, would be um, that maybe you're getting a little bit of shutter shock. So whenever I do telephoto, whenever I use a telephoto lens, I like to use silent shutter to eliminate any potential for shutter shock. Even the anti-shock mode can produce shutter shock. So I use silent shutter whenever I'm shooting birds. At the risk of maybe some rolling shutter, but you know the M1s are pretty good at that. So we don't have that problem as much as say a full frame sensor would. But those are my opinions. I don't know. Um, I don't know if anyone else has any more they can add to what's causing the character of the bokeh here, but that's basically what it is. Yeah, so you did use silent shutter on this? Let's see. You think it's the coding druid? Maybe. Um, yeah, the kit lens extended to its limitations. So this bokeh, this is basically bokeh, right? And the character of the bokeh. And there's a lot of issues, right, in the lens design, primarily the apertures and then the individual glass inside the lens and how they try to correct distortions in the image, you know, barrel distortion, things like that, and the way the light bends in through the blades, et cetera, et cetera. But that's the best I can offer on that one. Okay, let's go to how many we got here. I better move along here. All right, here's one from Ben, actually. This must be at the farm with your parents. Um, so we have really strong backlighting. So you dialed in a +1 EV. Your shutter speed's a little slow. ISO 3200, so it's pretty dark in here. Wow. I mean, being at ISO 3200 and 1/30th of a second, that's pretty dark. So honestly, for this scene, I think you did the right thing in terms of exposure. Last Christmas, okay. That's why your wife looks so different here. Because last time I saw your wife, she was pregnant with twins. Um, so yeah, this is a perfect shot in terms of exposure. I think this is a great family picture, right? But from a technical standpoint, you know, you're standing and you're pointing down. So what I would have done is stood a little bit further back if you could and try and straighten out the camera, because if you look at the door here, the door is bowed in, the windows are kind of bowed in this way. So that's what's kind of throwing this composition off for me. And I mean, if I do this is going to mess it up a little bit. We need a little bit. Well, that didn't do too bad. Let me apply a quick optical correction and then go back and do this. So let me back this off a bit. All right, let's not do it with auto. Let's use a tool. So we got this one and this line. That's better. And then we'll do that. Um, I need to move this up. Let me fix this line here. That line looks pretty good. All right. Now let's go ahead and crop this. Like so. Whoops. I mean, I'd like to capture more of the environment, but there we go. Uh, And let me just check. This is a raw image. Let me see if I can fix any of the lighting a little bit. Fix some of that noise. And a little more sharpening. The question is there fill flash used? No, it looks like the flash was off. So this is just an ambient light shot. Now, white balance wise is correct, but I think we should make it a little bit warmer. Maybe not like that. What was the ash shot? The ash shot was at 48. Yeah, just normal daylight is fine. A little bit less green. And now let's fix the contrast. Now we're getting there. Let's pull in a vignette. No, that's making it look worse. So what I'd like to do is just create a little more glow here. Here, and turn this flow down. Here and here. Maybe a little bit on the dad. And we'll warm that up. Okay. Let me yeah, this one. I need to get rid of this in here. Uh, you don't like my editing, Rick? I like it. But we'll show the before and after, and then we can see what people think. I don't think this is boring. I think this is nice. Because the pictures, you know, it's personal, right? This is his family, so he knows the people in the photo. So I'm just trying to make them look nice and focus on them. I don't know what a photo editor would look at. If this was like a stock photography type shot, maybe this would not be as interesting or not as useful commercially. But I think as a personal photo, this is a better edit. Put it in something like a bank and sell it. Yeah, see, you're thinking about it from a commercial standpoint, Rick. I don't know. I don't see what's wrong with my editing. I like it. So I'll just leave it here. So Rick is saying the image on the left is way better and the image on the right is just boring. I don't know. I like my image on the right. I didn't auto fix anything. I like painted. The only thing I auto fixed was the perspective, right? That perspective is just throwing me off. Yeah, the macaroni looks good, but that's a tough call, Rick. I don't see it. I don't see anything wrong with my edit. I like it. This image here as a stock photo, like if someone were to buy it, I mean, this is an interesting discussion because I need to my expand my horizons or my vision, or I don't want to be limited to what Rick is talking about where I'm messing the photo up. What am I missing here, right? So I'm looking at this as an opportunity to kind of expand my thinking, but I don't see it. Um, but I'm gonna take this to heart though, Rick. I really don't see what. Maybe you can email me a little more elaborate description of what I'm doing wrong here because I'm not seeing it myself. Uh, I just don't see it. That image on the left to me has these, the perspective is off and it's too cold. I feel like a family dinner should have warm lighting as suggested by the candles here. And then all I did was a little contrast. But you've taken out the way the lens distortion led the eye. Oh, okay, yeah, just email me, Rick. I don't. I'm open to learning here what I'm doing wrong. But we'll go with this for now. This is where I'm at. There's a little bit of distortion still here because of the correction I did on the left side. It's making her right arm here look longer than her left, significantly so. That's about the only thing. That's really one of the only problems with doing these perspective corrections is when you do it on people, the distortions are much more obvious. Like it's not so obvious on this chair, like in real estate photography. But when you do it on people, it becomes painfully obvious the problems. And then after I process this with Deep Prime, all of this noise will clean up. So if I export uh, this image, it's the distortion that led the eye. Okay, I guess. I mean, I see a little bit of framing here on the left and right, bringing it in, but I don't know. Okay, but technically, yeah, that is one of the problems is this distortion correction. It's not ideal when you do have people in the scene, but this isn't too bad. Uh, and then let me pull up the the noise image here. So here's with all the noise and everything corrected, right? So all of the noise is gone with the Deep Prime, and I liked a little bit of glow. Oops, the little bit of glow I added in here and on his face, but kept the rest of the scene nice and cool. All right, very good. Great photo. And then this one, the image, the EXIF data is corrupted. Okay, I'll see if I can come back to that one. um, okay, Randy, another desert scene here in California. I need to fix the horizon a little bit. It's just a little crooked. And the foreground, oh, let me just apply a quick lens correction. And all the lens correction does is fix the barrel distortion and vignetting that's with the lens. So basically it applies what a JPEG would apply in camera. Okay, what if I do auto? Auto never works, but I'll try it. Yeah, I did it the wrong way. I just need a little bit right there. So it's a little heavy in the front. I'm thinking, oh, it's a sensor spot there. I'm leaning towards a vertical. So I like this group of rocks here. That actually that works for me right there. Let me just maybe expand a little bit on the right. I don't need too much sky, but I don't want too much foreground either. No, not quite. A little bit more on the right. Okay. Let's punch in my prime, a bit of sharpness, some contrast. How's the lighting here? Make it a tad warmer maybe. What are we at? As shot, we're at 5,300. That's not bad. Let's just go a little higher. Okay. And oh, Rick, that's the narrowband channel sent that in. Ben. That was Ben's picture. The portrait family portrait. Okay. That was his wife and his dad or his father-in-law. I'm not sure which. A little bit too much green, but okay, let me fix the green. There. Maybe I can back this off. Yeah, the foreground, yeah, it's a little bit too much rock on the bottom. I agree. I agree. It's a little heavy in the front. Let me fix that. Just come in a little bit tighter, maybe right about there. Um, Over to the right. Maybe get rid of that one rock altogether. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Tad clarity maybe? No. Back that off a bit. Pull in some of the midtones, pull some of the highlights. Ooh. Oh, I like this rock right here. I need to accentuate that a little bit. we're looking good. Now let's punch some of the colors. A little bit more blue there. And still the greens are a little bit strong. Okay. And export to Photoshop. Yeah, the delivery alarm, but it's for my neighbor. My neighbor gets like Amazon packages every day. Hold on. While that's loading, I'm going to get her. Okay, good timing. Let me open this. And let's see, file, sky replacement. Oh, I like that. How about that? Or a rainbow. Uh, this? Nah, that looks stupid. Let's just go with either this one or this one. This one, the color matches a little better. Okay, and then scale it. All right, there we go. Save it as a TIFF. All right, there's the final image. I need to fix the white balance a little bit. Just warm it up a tiny bit. Okay, I think that works. Just like that. I mean, you can pick different skies and things. But now, you know, the clouds kind of made the image. But the composition wise, I kind of like this rock here. I should have done something a little more with these two rocks just kind of sticking out and going up here. All right, let's see. The sky is a distraction. The image is superb because the sky is beautiful, natural blue. Wow, we're really on opposite ends of the scale here, aren't we, Rick? Um, I don't know. Let's look at the image before I added the sky. I mean, this is without the sky, and I think this is a pleasant image. I just added the sky. I mean, I do like this rock here, but okay. Before and after. So yeah, I think this was just too much in the front, right? It was way too heavy in the front. And then I like these rocks right in here. And then the landscape didn't add much, so I just went with this overall. Okay, let's move on. Um, Something from Ian here. Okay, this one just needs some, this one just needs a little contrast. It's just a little bit soft. And yeah, we can Skype later, Rick. Um, I was thinking about that actually because emails, it's just not as effective for something like this. Let's see, just a little bit more symmetry. I mean, I could do this, right, and see what happens, but that's going to look kind of weird, I think. I mean, yeah, the distortion is way off. That's not going to work. I think we just need a little bit of a crop to balance out the right and left, maybe. And a slight tilt. Maybe this way. Like so. Still a little bit off. What I need is, whoops, that's not the right one. I need a left-right, maybe left. That's not working. I'll just do a little bit of a crop, balance that out. All right, let's bring in some detail. Like so. And punch the color a little bit. So I like the greens that are in here. And then pull off some of the warmth. Seriously? Hold on. Okay. And then let's punch the greens and the luminance. Push the highlights and midtones. Maybe even really tight, like right in here. But I don't want to lose these sides. Just a little bit tighter. Um, like that. And then push the highlights. the greens. I'm going to shift the greens just a little bit warmer. Okay. One other thing I like is the are the doors here. They just need a little bit more highlight. Maybe mid-tone. I spilled a little bit in here. I don't want that. Okay. If I can separate this color a little bit better. Might have pushed the greens a little bit too much. And one more brush. I want these to be just a little bit different. Okay. I'll pull this down, push this up a little bit. Okay. We'll call it there. Let's see how we did. Yeah. So yeah, basically I just wanted to see more detail. It's a little bit soft on the left side. So basically cranking up the contrast so we can kind of see, you know, all of the details a little bit clearer. And then when I did that, it kind of messed up the colors a little bit. So I had to, you know, saturate the colors a little bit more. And then I like the doors here. That's it. I think that looks okay. Very, very basic edit, right? Just enough to bring out the detail, mainly the contrast and fine details, and then saturate the softer lighted colors. Because when you brighten the image overall, you lose a little bit of saturation. So I brought the colors back in, and I think that works. Okay. Yeah, I'm not worried. You guys, yeah, Rick is all right. Rick and I are like, we have this rapport where it's okay. He can be very, very critical of me. I don't mind. I mean, any of you can be really. If you want to be super critical, it's okay. We can all learn from constructive criticism, right? So I never take anything personal or harsh, right? I take it as an opportunity to grow, expand, learn, that kind of thing. Okay, so we have a landscape here. And Lauren's saying something about dehaze. Yeah, dehaze would have worked on that scene. DXO, the Photolab 4 has something called clear view, which is effectively dehaze. I didn't apply it there. That would have probably done a lot of the work for me, but this is, let me see, Peter. So what do we have down here? We have a couple of people. Wow, look how tiny they are. And these are rolls of hay, or no, those are rocks. Okay. There's another person over here. Wow. Man, that's some serious walking, man. I mean, that's got to be about a mile. Like, man, that's got to be at least 2, 3 kilometers all the way up there. Um, Not a lot needs to be done here. Maybe compositionally, what do we use for a camera just for academic? EM10 Mark II, 40 to 150 kit. Awesome. ISO 200, f5.6, pull to 30V, and you're all the way wide at 40. So excellent settings. Uh, I want to accentuate this trail a little bit. So I don't know if that works better or not. Maybe a 5x4. I'm going to do that and a slight tilt this way. Come in. And just a little bit of fine contrast here. Maybe just make the lighting here a little bit warmer. And the lighting here just a tad cooler. Okay. I don't think this image needs much more, honestly. It looks really good. Lord, hello from India. Good to see you. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do. So basically, I left a little bit here on the corner. I mean, there's really two images here for me. There's this image of the trail going out to the lake here. And then there's the lake itself right in here where you have all these layers, right? And depth. Because you have a line going this way, a line going this way, a line going this way, then another one this way. I kind of like that too. So that could be like a separate image. Like zoom in to like 100 millimeters and just capture that part of it. Um, let me show you what I mean. I think because the other image to me is up here. This would make a nice 16 by 9. Oops. I feel like, something in here is pretty nice too, without the trail. So what you'd need to do is like just zoom into about 100 millimeters and take another shot. And you get this, right? Um, and then there's the shot that I did 5x4 vertical with just the trail. Something like that. So, yeah. So it's really two shots here, right? I like this. So if we compare that to the original, I like this. And then I like the vertical with the trail in it. See, there's the before, there's the after, but it's beautiful, beautiful shot. Okay. Um, let's go to the next one. All right, we have too heavy on the left, a little bit, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Let me, it's a little heavy on the left. Okay, let's go to the next one. What did we do here? M1 Mark II, 40 to 150 Pro, ISO 200, so that all looks good. Yeah, my summer home. Oh my God. Let's just come in a little bit tighter. I wish the power lines weren't there, but we'll just have to live with that. Maybe a little, just a smidge tighter up here. I don't think much else needs to be done. Let me see if there's any optical. I should do that before I do the crop. I mean, I'd like to, I hate these power lines here, but maybe just warm it up a tad. Pull some highlights in. That much, maybe that much. And I don't think that's going to help much. No, I don't need that or this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull the exposure in. Like that. And just brush in a little bit light. Here and here and here. Okay, good. A little smaller brush. Put there. Okay. Fix that. Let me just fix one more thing. like so. Nah, it's not going to work. Just this color, is the green just too strong? Yeah. Um, Lauren said a 16 by 9, maybe. Let's try a 16 by 9. Ooh, that's a little bit too narrow for me. Let's try a 3 by 2. Okay, that's 16 by 9 was a little bit too tight for me. All right, let me bring in some midtones. And fix the color a little bit more. Bring the light back in a little bit. Okay. All right, let's do a before and after. So basically all I did was warm it up, give it more of a golden hour look, and then a tighter crop, right? And I think that looks a lot better. Obviously the houses back here are a little distracting. I like the cows, but they're so small anyway. It's almost not an issue. And I could try and do a healing brush on these power lines, but it's not that important. So there's the final edit. And then of course a little bit of light painting to add some texture or depth to the trees themselves, because they were kind of all flat and blending together. So I just touched it up with some light. And actually you can see there's a person here. That's cool. All right. Oh, thank you, Walter. How you doing? Oh, man. Let's go to the horsey from John Follows. It's not a wild horse, but it's definitely running wild. So for me, there's always the idea you want the motion to be running into the frame, but this horse is centered, and then the white balance is a little bit off. So EM1 Mark II, 40 to 150 Pro. 1/400th of a second. Okay, fair. I would have done like 1/1000th maybe. But let me straighten this out just a little bit. I know he's running downhill, but I just need a little bit more. I'm gonna come off this side. Oops. Come off the right side. Okay. And we work on the color. Maybe some magentas. Okay. So we have the light coming in from this side. Okay, so a little splash right here and right here, right there. A little more here and here. Kind of overdoing it with the painting here. What happened? I didn't start a new brush for me. Hold on. What I wanted was to get rid of this. Oh, maybe not that much. Okay. Now, I don't want it that bright, but okay. I think that's all I can do, really. I mean, if I try to push the shadows too much and bring the horse in, I don't know, maybe a little more. Fix that. Okay. And then just add some, see, back that off a little bit. Add a vignette. My problem really is with the color in this image. So I think, yeah, let's do that. Just pull these in a little bit. Just add a little bit of split toning, maybe. Yikes, yikes. No, 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 no. Just back that off. What happened? Oh, the blacks got, sorry. A little more. Color. Maybe the original black and white was fine. Problem is the grass looks like crap. Okay. Definitely the color is the problem here. Sepia gold. That's not doing it for me. So let's do it with the tone curve. And let's pull it slightly this way. All right, I'm gonna call it there. Maybe split tone a little bit. All right. So there's the before and after. Oops. The colors here, I just could not get them right for whatever reason. So I went black and white with a little bit of a split tone, tighter crop, slight horizon, and that's my final image there. Let that render in. I just added a slight split tone, a little bit of sepia and tint of cyan, just to give it a little more punch than a simple black and white. But I like this. And then bringing out the shadows on the horse, I think helped. And then if I export this as a JPEG, you know, a lot of the noise will clean up. We're not seeing it here, but okay. Let's go. Yeah, sepia, just a little bit. All right, John follows. Wow, this is nice. I think we just need a little bit of clarity. Let me just fix the optics. A little bit of clarity. Maybe a little bit more in the lighting. And just a little bit of I don't want to lose that. Maybe warm it up. No. I like the cool. I like how it's nice and cool. Maybe just a little magenta. No. Let's do it as shot. I think. Let me spot this. Okay. Maybe let's pull this. This. Wait. Hold on. This is what I wanted to do. There we go. Just want a little more drama in the clouds. Eh. Okay. I'm just debating if color or black and white. I think either way it looks pretty good. I'm gonna go with color. So yeah, not much to do here. Just a little bit of contrast to bring out the sun rays right from the clouds. But I like the color. Normally I tend to warm things up, but in this case I think it looks fine the way it is. This nice cool Rick says, I suspect the sky's a replacement. No, I think this is a raw image. Let me see. Because John, yeah, this is a raw shot, so this looks good. Um, it didn't need much, just a little bit of contrast. But yeah, beautiful shot. Okay. Here from Paul. And let's see, reflection. What did we use here? Just EM5 Mark II with a 40 to 150 kit. Man, that 40 to 150 kit lens has like been breaking out today. Okay, thanks, Walter. So we're doing framing within a frame. We have reflections, and then we have some layers here with the mountains in the background. So we have, I think, just about one too many compositional elements. So I'm going to just try vertical, and let me, oh, I should have done this first. The optical corrections, and then a vertical like this, and a sensor spot. Or a bug, I don't know, one of the two. And then let's bring out the shadow. Maybe about that much. Amplify the color. And Just a little bit more contrast here and here, just so we can see the layers a little bit better. Oh, we got raindrops too in the water. That's cool. Um, Let me do it just in the highlights. I just want to see a little bit more in the layers. A little less contrast in the shadows. And look at my crop. Uh, okay, I'm going to call it there. So there's the before and after. Yeah, it was just a little too heavy framing up here, and it was dark, so I just brightened up the shadows and gave a little more contrast so you could see a few more of the layers here in the mountain a little bit better, but that's it. Other than that, I think it's a really nice shot. So there's the final image. I think that looks really good. Um, there's nothing special about this image. You know, it's foggy. I can't see anything. This is where Rick and I really have a problem, right? Is he seems to think all this fog and shadow is ambiance, and to me it's just mud. I can't see anything. Um, but the main thing here is the composition. I just felt like this was too heavy here, these trees, and just bring out a little bit of the shadow detail. Okay. I do like this one tree over here, though. I like this scene right here. This to me is pretty nice in itself. Just this one corner, like down here. This is nice. I would have zoomed in a bit more. But anyhow, let's go to the next one. And let's see. Yeah, Walter and I are very different for editing too, right? Walter's a little bit more of a purist. Let's just do the optical corrections. And what do we shoot with? 12 to 40, EM1 Mark II. Yep, all looks good. Pretty bright at 1/1000th. So we just need a little bit of straightening because it's a little bit off here. And I don't know, can we get lighting wise? Not much. I'd go black and white, but the tones are a little bit too similar. Let me see, maybe I can separate by color. Let me try. I pull the yellows and push the reds. No, there's not much red. Is it blue? Blue and purple? Yeah, that's not going to work. So I don't know. It'd be nice to silhouette the statue. Let's try. Problem is I'm having trouble separating the left side here. Just crop in a tiny bit more. Maybe come in a lot tighter. Forget about the legs. And I don't know. A little bit more contrast. Let's do it this way. See if I can bring out the reds a little bit more. Did I get it? There. Oh, excuse me 1 second. Oh. Sorry. Oh, my tires came in. Okay. All right, let's shift it a little bit more red. And then shift this yellow. Come on. Shift these yellow greens, maybe. More green, more yellow. Just a tad. All right. Look, there's a moon up there too. I think. Yeah, it's a little bit of a moon, or maybe that's a reflection. Okay, I'm going to call it there. Uh, so there's the before and after. You know, I couldn't straighten the legs out really, and you can't see really what they're sitting on when I straighten it. So I just cropped it all out and focused on this guy and then on the textures and stuff. So maybe just a little bit more sharpening and we're done. The micro contrast, yeah, we're there. So we need to do sharpening. I think just a little bit here and a little more CA out there. But yeah, so I think cropping in, now you can see more detail on the horse, right? And the guy and some of the textures. And black and white really doesn't work because I was having a hard time separating the tones. because they're a little bit too similar on the left side, so it didn't work too well. So just staying with color, I think, worked. All right, let's see. Here's one from Phil. Oops. So we have a closed gate on that side. Looks like a couple people there. I like this warm light inside. Um, let me see if I can let me do some optical corrections for distortion. We have this line here. This is the wrong line to crop in, so we need to get in a little bit tighter. I think that works a little better. You need to crop this. This is the corner line that needs to be in. Just a little bit more. And then on the right side, let's get these two corners right about there. And this light at the end of the tunnel is a bit strong. I don't know if that can be brought in. Not really. I think they're gone. And let's push the oranges a little bit. Yeah, I like this yellow, but I think a black and white. I like this part, but down here I don't like the color. So I'm just going to go black and white and work with these variations in the tones. And we'll do that. Okay. Maybe a little darker. Not that much. Right about there. Okay. All right, so what we'll do, pull this off. Okay, I'm not sure what to do about this light here. My instinct is to maybe there. My instinct is just to brush that whole thing out, but I'll leave it. And I'm feeling like I need to get in a little tighter. Just maybe on the top left. Top left. Let's try that. Okay, that feels better. But you know this, I'm losing a little bit up here. Let me see if no, that's too. That's a little bit too tall. Need it. Okay, that's not quite right. Dang it, I like the crop I had before, but okay. Let's go with that. I think I'll just go with this. I like the light hitting the wall here, though. I just didn't like this corner. But I think that's where I'll go. I'll go with the black and white because the colors just didn't blend well for me down here with the ceiling. Um, so that's my final image. So I like what happened with the tones though. There's spider webs and things up there, it looks like, in the roof. Okay, that works. A slight tilt this way would have helped, but I think we're good. I'm not crazy about this really bright light here. It'd have been nice if there was a person standing here and silhouetted, but all right. Let's see. We got a town here. I don't like this power line. Uh, this tree, this fence, I don't know. Let's see if I can just capture this. Come in. And make this about the tree. I like this little road here, the sidewalk. I can just come in. Okay, that works. And I'm going to resist the urge to do a sky replacement, but I'm telling you, this needs it. Let's see if we can accentuate some of these colors. I don't know. I don't know if this fence is really white, but we'll use that as a white point. Yeah, that worked. And slight vignette. And No, nothing there. I don't know. Let me see what that does. Nah. Doesn't really need anything else. Let's do a little bit of fine contrast here. Everything is so soft, meaning the lighting is very soft. There's just no shadows. Um, Honestly, I think that's all I would do. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, just basically warm it up a little bit and crop out like this fence and this house here and just focus on this tree with the houses surrounding this tree. And I wanted to keep the sidewalk going into the frame. And I think that works. So yeah, just a little bit of a crop and warm it up basically. That's all it needed. Okay, let's see. Oh, that was the last one. So except John Matthews. I don't know why this didn't load, but we'll get it next time. All right, let's see the viewer edits. Um, this this I believe is the original raw. Let me double check. Yeah. So this is the original raw image that I took. And oh, your tigers. I don't know, Druid. I didn't see. Let me let me check. Um, uh, one more image came in. Looks like it's Halloween. That's cool. Um, I don't see anything else. There's no tigers or anything in here. Sorry, Druid. All right, so this is the original image I sent in, and oh, the last session of the live edit. All right, let me just look real quick. If all I have to do is one more for Druid, I will do it. Oh, yeah, just send it in for next week. I'm sorry. I need to move along because we're pushing 3 hours here, and I got other things I got to do today, unfortunately. All right, so that's the original image. I didn't I these logs didn't work. These buoys are okay. I tried to frame this casino thing in the center. The only thing I really liked about the image was that we had a blue and yellow sail, so there were some nice complementary colors right in here. Um, but this boat's distracting. But yeah, I think this image had a lot of potential. I just couldn't make it work. So let's see what you guys did. Here's one from Marcel. Very nice. Very nice, Marcel. I like the contrast, right? It's very bright here, very dark in the middle, and then this contrast of the boats right here in the middle. I like that. Um, that's that's the original. And a crop. You got rid of the foreground, right? The those stupid logs sticking out. They ended up not working, right? My problem was is that the reflection of the sails went all the way into the logs. That was kind of part of the reason I wanted to keep it. See how they come all the way down? but it just didn't work. Oh, this is nice. Wow. The vignette's a little heavy on the bottom, but um, wow, I really like this one a lot. Who did that one? Is this some? Yeah, this is another one from Marcel. I like this one a lot. You don't even need the colors from the boat like you did before, right? Like this one here. Yeah, that's beautiful. I like this crop. And actually now these logs in the front kind of work in the frame. They're they're just silhouetted out with everything else. I think it kind of works now. I like it. And this is a nice, cool edit. Yeah, you cropped out the stupid boat, the stupid logs in the front. And this is what I saw with my own eyes, right? When I was framing it, I saw this casino kind of in between these two boats. This blue and yellow. And then the very cool white balance here. It feels like winter now instead of like end of summer. But yeah, that looks good. And who was that? That was John Burleson. Okay, nice, John. And then here's one from Phil. This is a full-on high key image. I think black and white would work better here. Or mute these colors a little bit more. And that would make it a really nice overall high key image. That's what I would change. Is just mute these colors a little more and this would be perfect. Because I like all of the negative space. And then just a hint of a building back here. All right. And here's one from Scott. Wow. White vignette, reds. That's interesting. This has a certain look to it that I can't explain. Something about it, but it's interesting. Interesting edit. All right. Let's see. We have one here from Image Writer. Yep, a little bit of soft focus and then got rid of the yeah, all the crap in the front. This to me is where the shot is right here. Kind of missed a spot here and here. It needs a little more fine tuning on the soft brushing, maybe just a little bit more in here. But other than that, it looks great. Let's see. John Follows. Nice clean edit, and then just what's important in the shot. I mean, this, like I said, this is the right composition, I think, for this scene. Maybe a little more headroom on top, but yeah, this works. Yeah, the buoy looks like an apple. That's true. And who is this from? This was from Ian. So yeah, everybody's seeing the same composition I did when I framed it and just making nice clean edits, right? Oh, excuse me. Sears processing. Oh my God, you're too funny. Um, yeah, I like it. Nice clean edit. And okay, I'll go back and look at yours, Walter. And then the day just took a bad turn. Yeah. Wow. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a nuclear sub right there, ready to launch. Um, I've been watching Stargate, this TV series. So they just had a scene where they launched 2 nuclear warheads at the Goa'uld, and this just reminds me of that because I just watched it last night. That's cool. All right. Yeah, Dave Nelson, of course, right? And then Serge always brings in some interesting edits. Yeah, he went full on high key, black border, and silhouetted the logs. I don't think this works here as well as it did in the other image. I think, but I don't know. It's different. It kind of works. It's a little interesting this way too. I really had mixed feelings about including these logs. I think I have some shots without the logs in them, but I wanted to include them and see if anything can be done. And you guys pulled some images out of that. Oh, you like that show too? That's funny. I haven't watched it in many years, so I'm watching it now, and it's like watching it new again because I can't remember anything. I mean, I remember a tiny, tiny bit, scenes here and there, but as far as the plot and the story and everything, I can't remember anything. But it's a great show. Man, great edits. All right, I have to find Walter's. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Let's see what Walter did. Okay, yeah. See, Walter didn't like the logs in the front either, and gave lots of negative space around the boats. Nice clean edit as always, right? Look at the detail. Walter uses Capture One. Capture One's really amazing at pulling some really fine details out. Not as good as DXO in my opinion, but it's better than Lightroom by far. So yeah, nice edit. Okay, let me go back. Yeah, where's the I don't know why that one image from, I can't remember who it was. It was this one, John Matthews. I don't know why this image didn't come in, but I'll work on this one next time. I'll have to save that for next time. So sorry, John. I'll do it next week. All right. Man, I tell you. How about a channel named Robgate? Why? Oh, I get it. Stargate, Robgate. No, no. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted, man. That's 3 hours, but it's always fun, right? Editing your images. And I really appreciate the critiques. I mean, I never get offended by any critiques or anything you guys have to suggest. I'll go back and read the comments after the stream later and look at them again. And I'll reach out to Rick later. I don't think I can do it today because I got to go I got there's a lot going on today. But definitely we'll connect and talk about these images today because I want to get, I want to see what you're talking about. I just don't see it today. Um, and you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully, you guys take lots of great pictures and stuff. And I got some videos coming out this week. I'm going to try and publish them if I can. But either way, I want to see you guys again next week in the editing stream. So thanks for submitting your images, and we'll see you again soon. Okay. I can push end stream somewhere. All right, there we go. All right, see you guys next time.